This call is
Um,
being recorded.
we had a pretty good week last week. The preview apps that we talked about last week really have been going on well. Or I think we talked about them the week and the week before, but it's really working out well. And we've had a fair amount of success when when you're able to show that. So we'll talk a little bit more about the preview apps a little bit later in the presentation stuff. But just as general housekeeping, who you're talking to, number one, is because uh, I can help you, Bruiser can help you in positioning your conversation with the people that you're talking to. We'd like to know what next steps are and where we are in, I guess, the transactional process. So, um, Bruiser, do you have any house maintenance kind of stuff that you feel like you need to talk about?
No, I just want to share that I shared this with Johnny, and I believe that we've kind of missed the ball, and when we're talking to customers, I think we've gotten a little more technical than we need to be. We're selling the ability for our customers to market themselves, and that's what this is all about. And I took that approach this weekend, and I got more appointments than I'd ever gotten in my life. And I'm going to pick up 3 contracts after this call, so it works. And I'm not going to take up today's call to go through the steps that I've been using, but Johnny and I talked about last week, and I just think it's the way to go. And Johnny and I'll have a call about it. It'll just help you get through all this a lot easier.
Okay. The next part of that, actually, it was Bruiser, me, and Tony. Tony was concerned a little bit about he wanted to get in and get out a little quicker, and I've asked him to talk about some of the changes that he made in his presentation and some of the changes that he made in, I guess, would you call it a pre-presentation, Tony? I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
the
I want to
discovery.
give him, yeah, I want to give him about 4 or 5 minutes where he can discuss it, and we'll forward you the information that he talks about. Or actually, well, I won't forward it to you. I'll put it up on the website, and I'll send a link out to you guys. And remember, as housekeeping, stay in touch with your Wi-Fi email account. That's the easiest way for me to get in touch with you. That's the fastest way that I can get in touch with you. So stay in touch with your Whizbang Wi-Fi email account. So, Tony, give us 4 or 5 minutes of your wisdom.
Okay. What I was trying to do is come up with. I found that when I was talking with these different customers, I wasn't coming up with the same presentation all the time. I wasn't saying the same thing in the right order, and it was leading kind of a hodgepodge. So I got with Johnny and Bruiser, and we took the big long 40-something slide presentation and pared it down to about 10 slides, and using that like for a I printed those out and I put them in a binder and use them like a site seller. That when you go in and talk with somebody, you just start at page 1, talk 3 or 4 sentences, and as you flip the pages, and it lets you focus in, or it let me at least focus in on giving a consistent story. And I took that, and the first one did it to. It just worked like it just worked like a charm. It was here's what we do. That looks like a different one there, Johnny. But anyhow, when you look at it, if you can kind of think of doing just a couple of sentences on each one, and it kind of shows the 90,000 foot view of what we have. And then when I got through the whole thing, I just looked at him and said, does this look like it would be of interest to your business here? And he leaned forward, which is always a positive sign, asked a couple of questions. I said, great. Then I just reached in and grabbed a site survey and just started asking him questions on the site survey. So it kind of leads them in. It lets them, hear and see what we're doing, but also gives you a lead in to start doing a site survey and kind of moves that process quicker when you have that first 10 or 15-minute meeting. And it just worked so much better for me. The end.
Does everybody understand what he was saying? Basically, he didn't want to go through a 40 slide presentation. And the discussion that we had was that we would move the meat and the value part of building value. We would build that into the proposal side of the presentation and not necessarily the acquisition or the presentation side of the presentation. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah,
I've got Bruiser muted because I didn't want to hear all the kids and let me unmute him. Okay, because your background noise was a little distracting. So, so basically that's probably the direction we're going, because I think Bruiser kind of went into that a little bit over on the success of his weekend as well. And one of the things that was interesting about Bruiser's success over the weekend was he was making these pitches at, like, what was it, a restaurant fair or something? Some kind of like Taste of Georgetown?
Taste of Georgetown. And there must have been 700-800 people there. And I just, the owners were out there giving away their food. And so when I asked for whatever they're giving away, I said to them, are you the owner? And they said, yeah, and every one of them was like that. And I told them what I did. And 100% of them said, I need to talk to you right away.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And,
so
and
that, I think, is a direct correlation of being in touch with the right person and not talking to the gatekeeper. So
Right.
Tony's worked with it with success. Bruiser's worked with his success, and I will forward the information. I was looking for the revision 5, and it wasn't on my menu, so I'll have to go digging into it, and I don't want to bore you guys with my typing skills. So, so here's what I want to talk about today. We really have a great opportunity, and I was in Columbia this weekend with with Allison and her family, and for birthday for some kids, and I was doing a little bit of work, and I had this idea after I talked to the developer in the middle of the week last week. So what I want to talk to you about is how we actually, can everybody see the screen now?
Yeah.
What we do is, we talk about the quality that we have. We want to show and sell what we have, and then we want to upsell. Now, there are two types of people that we deal with day in and day out. I could be one or the other, given the time of day, time of week, whatever. You've got your action taker and your non-action taker. Now, here's the question I want you guys to think about as you're going through your business, because in reality, even though you represent Whizbang Wi-Fi or Johnny Short or InfoPost Online Media or whatever, you actually have your own business, because you have to get up in the morning, you roll out of bed. I put my pants on one leg at a time because I'm not coordinated enough to do it two legs at a time. But you have your own business, and you need to ask yourself, where do you want your business to be in 30 days, 30 weeks, or 30 months? What I want to show you today is, just like everything else that I've done, kind of tripped over a new technique of generating some really good qualified prospects in less than 30 minutes a day. And what I'm going to do is we're going to cut through some of the maze of, okay, I kind of understand what Wi-Fi does. I kind of understand what some of the programs we have. Now, who do I talk to? So what we want to do is we want to get through that. So what type of businesses should you target? And a lot of this information is already in the employee stuff, but I feel like I've got to reiterate it every time, because it's really important that if you understand this, you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of doubt or self-doubt, a doubt of the business or doubt of self-doubt. The most common types of business that we try to target are the restaurants, the coffee shops, cafes, family restaurants. Fast food, sure, but McDonald's, Burger King, Sonic, they already have their stuff. Hospitality, that could fit into hotels, meeting rooms, things of that nature. Don't fall in the trap of trying to gear an entire hotel or a 7-story hotel or whatever. When I talk about hospitality, all we want is the common area where everybody comes down to the continental breakfast. If you're going to be approaching hotels, that's the place that you shouldn't be approaching trying to rewire an entire hotel. There's a lot of people who make that decision. There's a lot of things to get involved, and you will go hungry trying to close a 7-story hotel. Okay? Think about fitness studios. I'm in talks right now with O2 Fitness that are in Charleston. I think they're actually out of Charlotte. A lot of Wi-Fi. Everybody that comes in that's exercising, that's on the treadmills or on not the treadmills or the little thing that's got the fan going or whatever. They all have music playing. Most of them, I've watched some of them are like watching Netflix. They're watching movies while they're doing exercise. Fitness studios, yoga studios while they're waiting on the next class. All of that. Retail stores are huge because people are walking in. Landon's working with a huge retail store right now, trying to figure out what that next step is. So, common types of businesses to target. This photo here or this image is in the presentation. So if you're not sure who you want to call on, just look at the picture. It works for me sometimes. We're looking for businesses who want to improve their brand awareness, their reputation. You can go on down the list. I'm not going to bore you with my reading skills, but these are the type of businesses that you're looking to. The businesses that want to do all of these things. When we start talking last week about leads and what your number was, when I interviewed most of you guys, I said that, I called on 34, 35 businesses and I was able to close about 25. What I didn't say, I don't think, is that it took a little bit of prospecting to get through that yellow stage, to figure out who was a suspect versus who was a prospect, who could I approach. That number, there's 1,000 here. I just grabbed this picture off of Google Images, but this is the funnel that starts. How many numbers do you have to throw in the yellow thing to get to the green thing to get to the blue thing, right? So what type of businesses should you target? I like to target what I call fabulous clients or the fab clients. Draw your 3 circles. You want clients to have a Facebook page. You want clients to have an active Facebook page and clients to have a budget. When I say Facebook page, you want them to have 100 plus fans. Most of the people that I call on, they end up having somewhere between 1,500 and 2,500 fans on their Facebook page. Okay? They have a good profile. They're up to date. You can see that they're up to date if they have more than one image in their header. If they have just one picture in their header, that means that they're not really paying a lot of attention to it because the 2-page header or the 2-picture header thing started about 3 or 4 years ago. So you also want to see if they have reviews, if they are offering, if they have testimonials. What I like to do is I like to roll through about 6 months of a page and see if they're offering anything other than the PR stuff of taking pictures of their bar or taking pictures of their food. If they're offering specials, if they're talking about specials on their Facebook page, but they really don't have like a free giveaway or a coupon or something like that, those prospects, that's a prospect, and that guy is gold because he understands what he's trying to do. He's just failing at the execution. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Are we clear on that? Okay. So when you start talking about budget, you want to look for people. Do they have a website? Do they have ads for their business? Are they on TripAdvisor, Yelp, OpenTable, TripAdvisor and OpenTable cost a little extra money to actually be involved. Yelp just kind of throws itself out there. But that gives you an idea that they do have money to spend in a marketing thing. The clients that you want to avoid are the con clients. Those would be the cheap ones, the ones that talk about, oh, we do old school, and the ones that are needy. You know, I like the idea that if a client is too high maintenance, we can fire that client. It's like, you know, this is what we do. We're not going to do anything more for you than we do for the other people. Everybody's going to get a great experience, but if it's not enough for you, maybe you should go in a different direction. There's nothing wrong with getting rid of a needy client. So those are the people that we want to avoid. So we start with businesses that offer free Wi-Fi, businesses that already understand the importance of providing Wi-Fi, and then all we have to do is upsell the idea of, okay, you have Wi-Fi, but we're going to make your Wi-Fi better. We're going to give them the benefits. We're going to identify some of the common pain points, and I'm recording this so you guys can scroll through this a lot quicker. And everybody understands the old ADA thing. If you've been in sales long enough, you've seen this. But when we start talking about the new marketing and sales funnel stuff, you know, it used to be that it was just a little bit of marketing. It used to be just a little bit of marketing over here, and then the sales process was pretty long. Now we've got a long time trying to find the right person to talk to because there are a lot more roadblocks, there are a lot more gatekeepers, and then the sales itself is pretty quick. Either they want it or not. So what I like to call this, we're going to go with the fast approach, and this is where all the magic happens. What we want to do is we want to find clients that have all of our I'm sorry, I'm getting a little excited over here. We want to find the people who we could do the most work for the quickest, right? So how do we do that? This is how I started. Go to a place like WiFiFreeSpot.com, HotspotLocations.com. This is like, Tony, you had the term with the chalk that the people used to put on the side of a building to let people know, all the hackers know where free Wi-Fi was.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was called?
Yeah, it's called war chalking.
Yeah, this is like the modern day version of war chalking. When people was trying to figure out where were all of the hotspots. This didn't work for me. You can go to Google and you can go to Yelp and you can try to find that stuff. And we look at computer is slow. So what if you were to do at Google, what would you do? Would you type like restaurants?
Locally owned restaurants.
Restaurants, you know, restaurants nearby, and see what you get. Here's several restaurants. You got phone numbers. You got reviews. You can see more places. And actually, TJ's Burgers, that's one of the clients right there. But we've got a bunch of and there they are on the map. Okay, or you could go to Yelp. Here's a nice trick that I learned last week, is that if you go to Yelp, and I'm in Charleston, and you search to Yelp, it'll give you all of these local places. But am I really going to go to Hall's Chop House, where the average steak is $95, and ask them if they want to offer free Wi-Fi or tell them that we can make their Wi-Fi better? Why don't we adjust the filters, go to more features. There's your Wi-Fi. We want free Wi-Fi. Search. Then we can go to, we can adjust the filters and look at the two middle ones. You really don't want the cheap one, but you really don't want the most expensive one. Look at some of these guys. Look at all of these people. These are in downtown Charleston, obviously, but you could put it anywhere you want. And look at that. We've got 9 pages of opportunity there. Okay? Bruiser, I'm gonna put you on mute again because you're like really loud in my ear.
Oh, okay. I thought I was.
So let's go back here. So you could do your Google search, you could do your Yelp search, and you're going to find the right people. But what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about the ultimate sales tool. And that is, are you kidding? Hold on a second. And that is, we're going to use Facebook with the Messenger. Okay. Now, Facebook has a really, really neat tool, and I've been using my computer so much that I'm over on Sunday. I was piddling around on my phone, and I went on Facebook. Okay, and if you go to the menu part up here, and you hit, and you run down to your apps, they have a Wi-Fi finder, to where the businesses, you can find the Wi-Fi. So I was able to look, let me pause this real quick. I was able to look and find all of the businesses all of the restaurants that were around me in Columbia. It has a list, or it gives you the red dots, and then you can actually hit the list. Okay? So we can look and see who's close. And it gives you the list. And you can roll down. Look here, we've even got the barbershop has Wi-Fi. Okay? We've got churches that have Wi-Fi. Now, where Allison's parents live, they're kind of across the interstate from Fort Jackson, so they're pretty close. But you've got country clubs. Okay? But let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening in Greenville. Now, how you work this is you get in your general area, and then you hit the button up here that says search this area. And look what happens. Look at all of those opportunities, Tony. All of those opportunities. So you have, sure, you've got your Starbucks, but here's an interesting thing. You got the Baptist Church, the beer brewery, the Grateful Brew, a lot of beer places, Augusta Grill. And they'll even tell you what the network is called. That's what's crazy. So if they actually, there's a few in here, like Jet's Pizza. It says Jet's Guest, so you know that they're offering free Wi-Fi to their customers, to their guests. You got Wing Zone guests. How exciting is that? Can I get a hoorah? Yay! Awesome.
That's a neat tool.
Hoorah, yay!
All right, let's run down. Did I get to Hilton Head yet?
I'm trying to get it here.
I did Hilton Head. Let me try to get to my I'm rolling down the Hilton Head now. I had to do this on a video because I don't know how to get my phone. I hadn't figured out how to get my phone into this deal now. So we're running down the Hilton Head. The Bigfoot. We see it. It's coming in. Look at that. Somebody washing clothes? Sounds like somebody's washing clothes. So we've got Boathouse, Calvary, Dockside, Ocean Dental. Even the dentist has free Wi-Fi. How exciting is that? Do I need to run up to Polly's Island for you, Jill? Because I did. So we got Polly's Island. Look at the list in Polly's Island.
Yay.
Not sure who to talk to. You got Bistro 17, Rustic Table, General Store, Liz Quit, Habaneros Mexican, Tidewater. I saw Tidewater Lincoln. I mean, they're all there, you know. So there's opportunities everywhere, and this is on your cell phone. Okay, so let's get out of this. But you don't need your cell phone. If you just go onto your Facebook page, which I went on my Facebook page, by restaurants. Wi-Fi. Search that. So, I don't know why my. So you've got the my location must not be. Let's go back. So you've got the first. So let's go to Billy's. I know Wade. Let's go to his place. So Billy's Burger Joint, Big Billy's Burger Joint is also owned by the same people that own Arby's on Shem Creek, Noisy Oyster in Charleston, things like that. Look at what they're doing. They have a couple of other places. So what are you looking for? All right. You see reviews. They got 542 reviews. Do you think that we can help them by using Wi-Fi as a tool to help them generate more reviews or more good reviews? I see one of the first ones is a 1-star. You know, if we went to them and we said we thought it would be a better experience, they've got 1-stars. They've got 343 5-stars. What would you do, Wade, because he's the owner, if I could increase your 5-star rating by 10 or 15%? And we do that, and if you remember last week, if they hit the green thumbs up, it goes straight to the review. If they hit the thumbs down, the red thumbs down sign, it goes straight to an email to where it's telling the managers what their experience was like. There's, excuse me, there's an opportunity right there. Okay, so what are you doing when you are people? Okay, first of all, you're looking at the reviews. We know we can help them on the reviews. And here's some interesting information. They have a website. They have a phone number. And this is what I like. They typically reply to a message within a few hours. So what we would do is once you've figured out, yeah, this is a great opportunity, we want to send them a message. I'm not sure if I could. And I'm actually doing this on the fly. Send a message from your your own account. And let's just see what happens. Okay? It's giving us some info. So now what we would expect them to do is we expect, yes, we do have free Wi-Fi. And then the next question would be, do we put in, is it the kind you have to put in a code, or do I just log in? And you let them answer. So that gives you the opportunity. And then if they say, yeah, you just asked a bartender or asked a waitress or whatever, you know that that's the perfect place to visit or the perfect place to call and try to find out who makes their advertising decisions. The problem with this one technique is that you're going to get the person who does the Facebook page. I had a guy last week that he was the Facebook connoisseur and concierge. He was the guy handling all the Facebook and all the stuff. He was also the head waiter. So you're not getting in touch with the decision maker doing it this way, but you are checking off the F in find, in fast. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
So that is, so there's 3 ways, actually 4 ways that you can look up people with Wi-Fi. You can use Google to get your list. You can use Yelp and do your filters and tighten it up a little bit. That makes it even easier. Then you can go on Facebook on your cell phone and look it up and send a quick message, or you can go on Facebook itself and do it through Facebook. So there's 4 ways right now. So the downfall, the negative side of what I just showed you on Facebook is, number one, chances are you won't get in touch with the decision maker first thing. The other downside is that if you say, well, this is all I'm going to do, and you want to jam 20 or 30 messages a day asking that same question, Facebook will block you, because that's a personal relationship. It's not meant to be a business relationship. So what I want you to do for the next 30 days is every morning, I want you to take a few minutes and send 5 messages. Okay? 5 messages. Am I still broadcasting my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So with the Facebook tool, Wi-Fi Finder strategy, I want you to send 5 every morning, or whatever your time. If you choose, Bruiser likes to meditate in the morning, so he's blocked, so he can't hear me or he can't talk. But I want you to send 5 messages every morning and ask that simple question: do you guys offer Wi-Fi? You already know the answer to the question, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to create some type of engagement or some kind of dialogue. So in the interest phase, I want you to ask. Over the next 30 days, you do 5 every day. You get that, you'll have 20 new calls in a week, or 20 new prospects in a week. You'll have 100 by the end of the month. Okay? If you've got 100, I would say probably 20 to 25% will return and give you the opportunity to talk to them. You're going to have probably 25 appointments. You're going to close probably, I don't know, 5 to 8 deals over the next 30 days just off of this one strategy, because you're talking to people, you're talking to the low-hanging fruit, right? Is everybody clear on that?
Yes.
So we're already down into the yellow because the find part is already done. So we're tightening up our search criteria. You got to be able to ask those questions. What do you like about your Wi-Fi? What do you think is effective? Why are you offering it? If you ask them why they're offering it, they might tell you all of their pain points. What channels do their businesses use? Do they use Facebook exclusively, or do they have Instagram, or do they use TripAdvisor, or are they counting on Yelp? What are they doing? We integrate with everything. That's a question that's kind of open-ended because we don't download, we integrate. Yelp downloads, okay? Gazella, they integrate with 3 programs, and they're all email programs, okay? We integrate with everything. There's over 750 apps last time I checked, and if we don't integrate with them, we can do a Zapier integration, which is like a third-party integration, and we'll integrate with Zapier, and Zapier will integrate with that application. So without question, we integrate with everything. Keep asking the questions. Remember, 79% of the least interested Wi-Fi shoppers are influenced by Wi-Fi availability. You got to remember that stuff. I'm just flying through this stuff because I think we're running a little low on time. You've got to deliver a solution to heal their pain. So now we get to the show, okay? When we start talking, we've generated the interest. Once you have the interest, you go on to the sales entry portal, request the preview app to be done, and I'll get that done as quickly as I can. If you really need it like in 10 minutes, you got to call me and let me know what's coming. And as soon as we do the preview app, and for those who don't know how to do the preview app, send me an email and I'll send you the instructions. Do the preview app, and then you're showing how to do it. And then you're meeting with them and you're talking about a page presentation that Tony and Bruiser used so effectively this weekend. Vince Lombardi used to say that confidence is contagious, so is lack of confidence. You have to have the confidence to understand that whiz-bang Wi-Fi by far outscores in speed, it outscores in flexibility, usefulness than any of the other programs on the market. There are some programs out there with Yelp, ZenReach that have a lot of money behind them, but they don't do a fraction of what whiz-bang Wi-Fi is capable, okay? Seeing is believing, and our unfair advantage is to be able to do that preview app and know that when they get that preview app, as soon as they log in, we've captured their email address right off of their. Once they log into that preview app, that app acts just exactly like whiz-bang Wi-Fi is supposed to for the business. We capture their email address. So when you show that preview app to the lowly Facebook person and they run it up the flagpole, every person involved in that decision-making process, we capture their email and we capture their information. We know how old they are, what their social habits are, et cetera, et cetera. So the final part is transaction. I didn't have enough room and I was writing in white and it kind of went into the white, but that's what FAST is all about. Okay? So who has questions? Let me turn Bruiser back on.
That was killing him.
Oh, I know. I'm sure it was.
Important for everybody to be in front of customers. That's the key to all of this. Is the numbers are with you.
You're going to have to
customers that'll have
to say that again, Bruiser.
This only works if you're in front of customers during the day. If you're sitting at home watching cartoons, it's not going to happen. You're going to wonder why the rest of us are making some pretty good money. Just get in front of some folks. You'll find out how easy this is, and you'll enjoy it. I mean, nobody's been cut, shot, or aggravated about what we do. We're helping them out a lot, and you got to show them that you are a resource for them to expand their business. That's the way they got to see you. You can put me back on mute now.
Okay. Does anybody have any other anything else to add? Tony, you've been really, really active. I'm interested to gauge your thought on the Wi-Fi strategy.
Well, I like this new thing about using the tools to find out who's already out there and who's has some kind of multimedia or social media presence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like that. So I'm going to go back through. I'm just going to change my approach now and do this and just go where we know they're congregating.
Right. So
pull up an area and say, I'm going to go to Greer today and be able to pull down everybody that's on Facebook in Greer. I think that's a huge, being able to pre-select an area, I think is a huge benefit.
Huge. Landon, when we were going through Hilton Head, you were talking that you were looking at it right then. What do you think about this new strategy?
I think it's good. I like the idea of being able to just direct message, Facebook
mm-hmm.
on the fly. And that way you can kind of, plant, I guess, the seed of them know who you are, and then kind of a little bit more about them.
Mm-hmm. 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 Fantastic. John, you're still on the call, right?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. But you're on the phone though, so you couldn't see what I was showing.
No, I'm watching.
You are? Okay. What do you think about the new strategy? Do you think that it's going to be something that you could work with?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. And who else do we have? Jill. Is Jill still there?
Yes, I'm here. I think the strategy's good. One thing I would think would be helpful, though, especially because like Bruiser and I are in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who. I go to other cities. We don't know who other people are working with, who their prospects are that they've already talked to. That's a hole that would help.
Okay.
Because instead of crisscrossing over each other, like I might be in Columbia, I might be in Charleston, but I don't know who other people have already sold or who they're working with.
I understand.
So yes, this is fabulous, but that's the next piece to me because we're all kind of we don't have assigned territories or areas. That's the one piece I need.
All right. Okay. Well, that a lot of that, 90% of it, and that's been on my mind. 90% of that is the ability to know who you're working with and and you guys entering that information into the sales entry portal. Remember when you enter somebody's email address, and not only if you need like a preview app done, but if you enter their information in, if I have their email address, they automatically get kicked into the 90-day email drip campaign that talks about Wi-Fi and why it's so important, and mobile marketing and why it's so important. One email might have have a little bit of information about a mobile app. Tony ran into a business last week that they wanted online ordering, and he wasn't happy with his website, but his family member did the website, so he really couldn't be too angry with them. But after a quick conversation, I explained to Tony that we can do the mobile app, and what my customers or clients will typically do is they'll bag their website altogether and use their mobile app as their website, because the mobile app also has a desktop version depending on what you pull it up under, and they could have mobile ordering or online ordering on their website and their mobile app, and they don't have to have two separate programs running. So Tony was really excited to be able to share that information with them. So
yeah.
Part of that email drip campaign is to let them know that we've got more than one arrow in our bag. We handle 10 or 12 different types of applications, and that's real important. But the first part of not tripping over each other is making sure that I know who you're working with, and having a normal conversation with Bruiser or me, and we just and it's on a list, and if you put in the same company, I will get a red flag, and I'll know that it's a duplicate coming in, and I'll look to see if it's the same person or if it's different people with the same thing going in. So it's real important to know that. So I understand. So I think that we can move in that direction. That's not a problem. Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, Jim, you've been real quiet up in New Jersey. How are things? How have you taken all of this information in? Is this something that you think that you can take advantage of with the Wi-Fi strategy?
You know, I do. I've stepped away a couple of weeks. I've had other priorities, but what I like is to me, simpler is better. Easy is better. I'm not a lazy person, but I love the quote when Bill Gates was asked, "Who do you assign to the most difficult task?" He said the laziest person, because they figure out how to do it easily. You know, so
there you go. Perfect.
I think what you're doing here, you know, you're squeezing it down. I mean, from day one, you know, the first day I spoke with Bruiser, it hit me like a 2x4 on the side of the head. This is pretty simple, but yet in the simplicity, there's a lot of moving parts, and I think that it's what you're doing is you're putting some of the little puzzle pieces together into bigger chunks, and you're putting a picture on top of the box now. You know, so I mean, these are definitely steps. Now, I need to be. I mean, I don't have any clue because I wasn't on the call when you're talking about the preview app, but that sounds pretty cool. I just need to go back and understand a little more about that. Okay. But I think we're definitely headed in the right direction here.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we are moving up to almost 50 minutes, which is over my time allotment. So unless anyone has anything pressing, and I'll unmute Bruiser one more time. If anyone has anything pressing, we'll go ahead and finish up. Bruiser, do you have anything else?
I was just going to say, Jill brought up something that's a good piece, is that, you know, there's chances that each of you could end up, you know, going through somebody else's territory or whatever. There are no rules about working together for a day or whatever. You know, if you find yourself coming through, you know, Georgetown or anywhere I'm at, call me. Let's work together, because, you know, it's a lot more, you learn a lot more together. And so, you know, if you're going to be in other areas, you know, let the rep of that territory know, and, you know, do some things together. It might turn out that the rep has an in there and just hadn't had time to go call on them or something. It's not going to happen a lot because we don't have a whole lot of reps. So, you know, worried about if there's too many reps in an area, we're just not there yet.
Right.
And hopefully, you know, you guys will take care of it. We won't have to hire a bunch of people.
Fantastic.
But yeah, work with each other, whatever. I mean, you know, it can be a lot more fun. You'll learn a lot more, you know, working together. And of course, the customers love it when two people come in to call on them.
Fantastic. All right. Well, gang, I appreciate your time this morning. I really do. I hope you garnered some really good gold nuggets that you can take out with you and make your day and your week as successful as you can. I'll be forwarding you some additional information, so make sure that that you keep in touch with your Whizbang Wi-Fi email address. And, you know, if anybody has any issues, please give me a call. I'll be glad to help you. Sometimes you might have to schedule a call, but let me know, and I'll be happy to help you. Bruiser will be happy to help you. And, you know, happy hunting. Good luck. Y'all take care. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.